Alright, so I don't normally record with my phone. This is done with my phone. This video is mainly for the benefit of a YouTube friend I've got, Tyson Hugie. And this is the 2004 Acura TSX. I've already disassembled the front end, the old radiator support, bumper, grill, hood. This hood's off the parts car here. I've cut the old support out. It was hit dead center, pretty much right where that motor mount's at. And this support is a new support off of the parts car. And so we're gonna weld this back on, and I'm just prepping my surfaces to do the welds on each corner and where it attaches down here on each side by the frame rails. So just doing a little prepping on our weld spots here, and over there I got to grind those down a little bit more, get the rust off, get them cleaned up. But this is basically it. It was a front end accident, and the driver's airbag deployed, or excuse me, the passenger airbag deployed, and cracked the windshield. So we need to get another windshield. But I've got all the other parts for this on the parts car. Please excuse my messy garage. It's a work area. But I got some of the dash disassembled now. I'm going to work on trying to get this dash out. But when this airbag blows, basically you have to replace the top of the dash. And I've got an entire dash on our parts car. The car only has 165,000 miles. That was one of the main motivators why I bought this car. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of work, but it should be good when we get done with it. But I will insert some pictures before I tore everything down of the damage, and so you can get a little bit better idea of what we're dealing with. So I think I'll take a little bit more video when we get a little bit further along. Alright, so we got the radiator support welded on, and I've already repainted over the welds here, and back there, underneath, and the side, here, about 4 times over here, of course here. Same thing on each side of the frame rail here. Repainted all the welds here and all that. Got a little power steering cooler line back on the radiator support. Now basically I just, since I'm done welding, I got put the fenders on, and of course they're back off because I had to weld everything up. But I got to put the fenders back on, and then put the front end on. It's just basically bolt-on assembly at this point. But sorry, my garage is a mess, but this is a work area, so there you are. But we're going to go ahead and start with the assembly of the front end, try to get it back together, and I'll check back. Alright, so it's looking a lot more like a car now. Got everything in. Got not everything, but we got the fenders and the headlights and the reinforcement bar for the bumper, the AC condenser in. I still got to put the radiator in, but body gaps turned out pretty good. Pretty decent. Everything seems to line up with the headlights. Gotta clean these headlights. They're kind of bad shape. They were all the stuff come off the parts car, and so they need to be cleaned. But the parts car pretty much had a perfect front end on it. So anyway, that's our front end progress as of now. I need to replace this inner fender here. It got pretty messed up. The other inner fender is good. That oil on the ground is, I undid the transmission line because I had it plugged up. Put the radiator in, and it's peeing out a little bit of transmission fluid. But I'm gonna end up doing a transmission service on it anyway, so it's no big deal. But yep, that's where we're at for now. All right, got everything back together except for these two little fender pieces and the cowl, which I'm gonna leave out for the guy to come do the windshield. I'm gonna leave all that out, and I'll put all that back in whenever he comes, puts a new windshield in. But that won't be for a while because I got to put a dashboard in this thing. That's phase 2 of this project. But you know, they say that, you know, when these things get totaled out, the insurance company has to put them back to pre-accident, a pre-damaged state. This is actually better than pre-damaged state because there were quite a few pieces missing off this car. The lower splash shield was gone, and this piece was missing. That was completely missing. It was not even there. Even as badly as the car was damaged in the front, there would have been a piece of something there, even if. But anyway, this lower splash shield, it was damaged, not from the accident, because they didn't put all the clips back into it. It rubbed on the tire. So yeah, this is actually better than it was before it was wrecked. So everything lines up. Everything seems to fall right into place. So I'm gonna get it out and get it washed up again now that everything's together. I got the headlights done. Those are all clean, polished up and everything. I'm gonna give it a wash, and then we'll start on phase 2 of this thing. That's pulling the dash and getting the passenger airbag changed. I put the passenger airbag in this thing. I kind of stuffed it back in there, but it blew out. So all this is, when one of these airbags blow, you have to change the dash because it messes up the dash pad and of course a windshield. So I've already got a lot of these pieces apart right now. So you just get in here and you take out these two 12mm bolts, and it'll come all out as one unit. But I gotta pull all this center console and all that out too, and I may even pull the seats, see if it'll make it a little easier. So you gotta drop the steering column down, pull the dash out. It comes out as one unit. There's 2 bolts here, or 1 bolt here and another bolt on the other side that holds the center stack in place. So anyway, we'll either continue this, I may make this 2 parts, or this may be the end of this part, so whichever one I choose. So appreciate it. All right, so we got it all washed up and everything, and you know, of course our front end is completely done. Now we're working on the dash. I went ahead and pulled the dash out of this thing, and that is because of our airbag deal here. So this is the inside of the car here with the dash pulled out. So now we're going to get our dash out of our parts car, which is right here. It was hit in the rear, and pretty light damage, but the car has no title, so it'll never be able to be put back on the road. I This is the front end removed, and this is the original hood from the other car that we had just finished. It was all crinkled up and all that sort of thing. I've just got it on here to protect the engine more or less. So we're working on getting this dash out. We have to drop the steering column or pull it all the way out. This has got the telescoping steering wheel, so you just take out 4 screws that holds the steering column in and the slide mechanism, and you just pull it out. Just pull it all out as a unit. You have to pull all your wiring out of the steering column to your ignition switch and clock spring and all that. And some of these connectors have to be undone back in here. And anything that goes basically from the dash into the car, you just disconnect this stuff. This goes to the engine computer down here in the in this section here. And there's a connector back behind here in this kick panel. I got to take that off and disconnect that one. So basically, you know, anything that runs from your dash into your car, you've got to disconnect. Honda's got it pretty well straightforward. All your connectors just disconnect from where the dash goes into your various components. There's one little wiring harness that comes back in here, hooks to your brake and to your power outlet here that has little wiring tabs on it right here. You've got to pull these out. That's one of the more difficult parts. And then you've got a connector back in here that disconnects pretty much all your HVAC stuff there. And then you've got your main bulkhead connectors over here to your fuse box and all that's got to come out. Anything that goes into the dash harness that goes to the power distribution / fuse box, all that comes out. All connectors for that. Pull your connectors out, and then I got to pull this steering column cover off and pull all the connectors to the ignition switch, your clock spring, blinker, and headlight switch and all that. You got to disconnect all that, and then it pulls out as a harness. The harness just pulls out, and then, like I said, you unbolt it and just pull the whole. Make sure your steering wheel's locked so you don't turn your clock spring, and just pull the whole thing out. The whole column and everything just pulls right straight out. So this is where we're at right now, and I'll update you when we get a little further here. Alright, so I've jumped ahead a little bit on this car, and I'm not really trying to do a step-by-step on this, but just kind of a general idea. But got our dash back in. I don't know how well we can see. This is in the garage, so our dash is complete. Everything works. I don't have the key for it right now, but anyway. No more busted airbag over there. We still got our broken windshield. That windshield is $303, and I'm not in a big rush to spend $300. But anyway, you can see these panels are missing because we have our headliner out. Headliner in this car was in really bad shape. Was hanging down and everything, so I'm in the process of doing that. Got it laid out here. This is our new headliner. I've already put it on, and it was just mainly drying overnight. Doesn't take overnight to dry, but I did this last night, and I'm gonna let it sit overnight until I put it in. So I'm gonna throw this back in and put everything back together. We should be about done with this car, except for getting the windshield put in. Everything with the car should be about ready. Alright, so I just got back from the glass shop having a new windshield put in this thing. And so that was pretty much the last major step of rebuilding this car. Still got tape on the top, said not to take that off until tomorrow. This is probably the new molding for the top of the windshield there. So this one's pretty much done. I've got a door lock actuator over on that side not working, so we're gonna get that off the parts car and swap that out. But other than that, we're pretty much done. The headliner is finished. Had to wait a little while to finish this video because I wanted to get the windshield replaced before we called it a wrap. But anyway, so I got the new headliner put in. It's not 100% perfect, but it sure looks a whole lot better than it did. I'm not really a fabric guy. This steering wheel is really about the only thing that annoys me, but the one in the other car is worse than this one. So and none of the junkyards around here have any of these cars. There was one and it got crushed, so a day late, dollar short. And what else is new? I might swap that little piece out right there from the other car, but other than that, it's pretty clean, and everything cleaned up pretty good. Looks a lot better with a new windshield in it. But anyway, so air conditioner still working. 165333. So it runs good with no lights. Just a seatbelt light because I don't have my seatbelt on and I've got the door open. So everything works pretty good. Radio works, everything. So I'm gonna call that a wrap for this video, and we got another TSX saved and on the road. Appreciate you watching.